What if you woke up tomorrow and discovered it was yesterday, not in a dream, not in a movie, but in real life? Imagine meeting your younger self, warning yourself about every mistake you'll ever make, or traveling thousands of years into the future to witness humanity's final chapter. It sounds impossible, a fantasy invented by Hollywood. But here's the shocking truth. According to modern physics, time travel isn't entirely science fiction. In fact, scientists already know one form of time travel is real. Astronauts have actually traveled into the future, not by centuries, not by decades, but by tiny fractions of a second. It has already happened. So the real question isn't, can time travel happen? It's, how far can it go? Before we can understand time travel, we first have to understand something even stranger: time itself. Most people imagine time as an invisible river flowing from the past through the present into the future. Every second feels identical, steady, constant, unstoppable. But according to Albert Einstein, that's an illusion. Time isn't universal. It doesn't tick at the same speed for everyone. It can slow down, stretch, warp, even almost stop. Imagine two identical clocks. Leave one on Earth. Place the other aboard a spacecraft traveling close to the speed of light. When the astronaut returns, the clocks no longer agree. One has experienced less time than the other. The astronaut has literally traveled into Earth's future, not through magic, through physics. In 1905, Albert Einstein introduced one of the most revolutionary ideas in history: the theory of special relativity. Its most famous equation, E = mc², changed science forever. But another prediction was even more unbelievable. The faster you move, the slower time passes for you. As an object approaches the speed of light, time itself begins to slow dramatically. If you could somehow travel at 99.99% the speed of light, a single year for you could mean decades or even centuries had passed on Earth. Everyone else, you disappeared into the future. And when you returned, your friends, your family, perhaps even your civilization could all be gone. Time travel to the future isn't forbidden by physics. It's built into the universe itself. Speed isn't the only thing that affects time. Gravity can change it too. In 1915, Albert Einstein expanded his revolutionary work into what became known as the theory of general relativity. Instead of thinking about gravity as an invisible force pulling objects together, Einstein proposed something even stranger. Massive objects don't simply attract things, they actually bend the fabric of space and time itself. Imagine placing a heavy bowling ball on a stretched rubber sheet. The sheet curves beneath its weight. Now roll a smaller ball nearby. It naturally falls toward the larger one. According to Einstein, that's exactly how gravity works. The Earth bends space-time. The Sun bends it even more. And black holes bend it so dramatically that reality itself begins to behave in unimaginable ways. As gravity becomes stronger, time begins to slow down. Near the surface of Earth, the effect is incredibly small, but near a black hole, it's astonishing. Just a few minutes spent close to a black hole could equal years, or even decades, or someone far away. This wasn't invented for science fiction. In fact, the movie Interstellar based its famous time dilation scenes on real physics, with guidance from Nobel Prize-winning physicist Kip Thorne. Even more surprising, Einstein's prediction has already been tested. GPS satellites orbiting Earth experience time differently than clocks on the ground. Engineers must constantly correct these tiny differences. Without those corrections, your smartphone's GPS could drift by several kilometers every single day. Gravity doesn't just pull objects. Traveling into the future appears to be allowed by the laws of physics, but traveling into the past opens an entirely different set of problems. Imagine building a time machine. You travel back 50 years. Before your grandparents ever met, you accidentally prevent them from meeting. If they never had children, your parents would never exist. And if your parents never existed, neither would you. But if you were never born, who traveled back in time to change history? This logical contradiction is known as the grandfather paradox. It's one of the biggest reasons physicists remain skeptical about backward time travel. Some scientists believe the universe simply won't allow paradoxes to happen. Others suggest something even stranger. Every decision made in the past could create an entirely new timeline. Instead of changing your own history, you would enter an alternate universe, one where events unfold differently while your original timeline continues unchanged. It's a fascinating idea, but so far, no experiment has ever confirmed that parallel universes actually exist. For now, traveling into the past remains one of science's greatest mysteries. Time travel has already happened? As unbelievable as it sounds, time travel isn't entirely theoretical. It has already happened. Scientists have performed experiments using incredibly precise atomic clocks. One clock remained on Earth. Another traveled aboard high-speed airplanes and orbiting satellites. When the clocks were compared, they no longer showed exactly the same time. The moving clocks had experienced slightly less time, exactly as Einstein predicted. The difference was tiny, measured in billionths of a second, but it was real. Even astronauts experienced this effect. NASA astronaut Scott Kelly spent nearly a year aboard the International Space Station. Because he traveled at extremely high speeds and experienced weaker gravity than people on Earth, he aged just a tiny fraction less than his identical twin brother. The amount was incredibly small, far too little to notice, but scientifically, it proved something extraordinary. Time travel into the future is not science fiction. It's already part of reality. The only challenge is making the journey much larger. So, will humanity ever build a real time machine? The honest answer is nobody knows. Modern physics allows some extraordinary possibilities, but every possible method comes with enormous challenges. Traveling close to the speed of light would require unimaginable amounts of energy. Black holes are far too dangerous to approach. Wormholes remain purely theoretical, and traveling into the past may not be possible at all. Some physicists believe quantum mechanics may eventually reveal entirely new laws of nature. Others believe the universe protects its own timeline, making backward time travel forever impossible. For now, time remains one of the greatest mysteries in existence. The more we study it, the stranger it becomes. Perhaps one day, our descendants will unlock secrets we can't even imagine today. Or perhaps the greatest mystery isn't whether we can travel through time, but whether time itself is something we still barely understand. Until then, every tick of the clock reminds us of one incredible truth. Time is the one journey every human shares. Whether we ever learn to master it remains one of the greatest unanswered questions in the history of science. If you enjoy watching the content, subscribing to the channel is the best way to support the work and never miss future updates.